Hello, my honey bunches of oats. Today we are going to make some delicious oxtails. I'm going to show you how to make them. So delicious with a beautiful rich sauce, guys. And we have our ingredients here for our preparation of these delicious oxtails. So guys, I have about a 2.87 pound of oxtails. Let me tell you, oxtails prices are going up. I mean, this was like $40. Oh boy, let me tell you. But, that's what I got, okay, for my pockets, all right? And we have some sazon here. The one with the yellow, the sazon with culantro and achiote. I have some peppers. We have some garlic, sweet peppers going on here. We have onions. Gotta have the onions. You got to have onions. I have some tomatoes here. I got these out of my freezer, and I have a scotch bonnet pepper. These were from my garden, so I froze my tomatoes. So I'm going to put them to use. Okay, I have some Maggi seasoning here. This is in liquid form. Very good, by the way. Okay, we have some black pepper. We have some sazon completo. We have some cumin. We have some garlic powder, some chicken bouillon flavoring powder. We have some mojo. You can find this in the international section of your supermarket. It's like a citrus seasoning. We have oil, of course, which we're going to need. We have some green seasoning base here. Okay, I have a recipe for that as well in my videos. And we have some vinegar, because we're going to need the vinegar because you got to clean this meat here, okay? And you're going to need some lemon or lime slices, but as long as you have the, we have some, what is that? Oh, that's some butter beans or limes and some tomato paste. I'm doing a voiceover. Anyway, so guys, we are getting ready to take our oxtails. We're going to put them in some water. And I'm going to add some vinegar to it because we have to clean this meat. And I'm going to give you a little tutorial on how to clean meats, okay? Please do not just take these out of the packaging and just start seasoning them. That's not the move. Yuck, okay? So we're going to add them in some water here. And we are going to add vinegar. And my loves, the ingredients are listed in the description box below. I will leave my measurements. Anything you want to adjust on, like black pepper and all that stuff, you do that. If you want it spicier, do you. So I'm going to add some vinegar to this. And I'm going to let this soak in here for at least about an hour or so. Okay? And we're going to be back with that. All right, so guys, we are back, and I'm taking some of my lime slices, and as you can see, that water's turning pink, and I'm rubbing the meat with some of the lime here. Okay, not only does it help just clean it, but it also gives it a fresher flavor too. Okay, so you want to, it's like you're taking a sponge and rubbing the meat with your lime. Okay, this is a Haitian thing. If you're from the Caribbean, you do this, you know what I'm talking about. So as you can see, the water, this is how it looks. Yuck. So now I'm going to take a little bit of lime juice. If you don't have lime juice, just use vinegar. After I clean the water out, and I'm just adding some more vinegar just in the water and rinsing everything with my hands here. Okay, we want to really clean the meat. And what's going to happen after it's finished, you're going to notice that the color is going to change. It may not look as red. Okay, that's because we took out a lot of that grit and all that nastiness, slime, what have you, that may be on the meat. Okay, we're going to give this a couple of rinses here. And we're going to start seasoning. Okay. Right, so as you can see, this is how our meat looks. As you can see, the color has changed a little bit. That means it's clean. We've cleaned this meat. So now we're going to start seasoning. I'm going to add my Maggi seasoning here. If you don't have this, guys, you could use soy sauce or even a little Worcestershire sauce, okay? I'm now going to put some of my mojo seasoning in here. This is a liquid seasoning base. We're adding some green seasoning as well. Okay, the green seasoning has everything, the cilantro, the parsley, the garlic, the onions, the peppers, some other stuff in it, scallions that I put in. Very good. Okay. Now we're going to add our sazon, which will the one with makes it yellow, with that yellowing reddish color, with just the culantro con achiote. Okay, and we're getting our flavors together in here. Now we're going to add some chicken bouillon flavor to this as well, and we're going to add our black pepper. And guys, again, I'm going to leave my measurements down, and I'm leaving them down in the description box below. And I'm adding some complete seasoning. If you want to add more or less of something, you could do that. Because again, everybody's palates are different, okay? But you will notice that as you start cooking, you may need to add more of something. So now I'm adding more garlic. Garlic powder. I love garlic. That's something I just love. I love garlic. You know, that's just me. I've got to have my garlic, and garlic is good for you anyway. Okay, I'm adding a little bit of cumin. Okay, use my hands nice and clean. My hands are nice and clean, and I'm going to massage these flavors, these seasonings into our oxtails here. Okay. There's nothing wrong with using your hands. Just make sure your hands are clean. That's all you need to make sure. Go up under the nails. Get all that tulun from under your nails. Clean your nails. And this is what God gave you hands for, okay? I'm going to add a little bit more green seasoning. And I know this looks retarded, right? Because now I decide to add a spoon, but that's okay. Well, listen, I'm showing you that you can use a spoon to mix it, but I like using my hands. You know, your hands are one of your greatest tools. And when I was doing this video, I was able to edit it to at least 20 minutes because there was some parts I really wanted you to see. So you know, I didn't want to skip on anything because I really want you to get this down packed of how to cook these oxtails. Oxtails is something that you have to cook depending on the size for at least a minimum of 3 hours, depending on the cut and how thick they are. So now, guys, we have a pot. We're going to get it nice and hot, and we are going to add, I'm going to brown the meat, so therefore I'm going to add some sugar. This is our browning part, okay? We're going to add some some sugar to this. And what we're going to do, we're going to let the sugar get brown, like a dark amber color. And as you can see, this is what's happening now. We're going to let it get a little bit darker, but don't let it get black. Because then don't let it get black, because then it's going to be burnt to the point where it's going to be bitter. So, you know, let it get really nice and brown, because that's what's going to give your meat that nice color. And it's not going to make it sweet. Okay? All right, so now I'm going to start adding my meat to this. All right, and this is going to help give it that nice, rich, dark brown color. Yes, you can buy browning as well, but why waste money doing that when you can just take sugar you probably already have in your cupboard and do it yourself, okay? Okay, so now we are getting these nice and brown. I'm just adding my pieces. Yeah, I could have used a bigger pot, but this worked out perfectly fine. Okay, so get a nice sturdy pot to do this. Okay. Okay, so we're getting our meat in here. And what you're going to notice, again, all that sugar is not going to make it sweet. We're not trying to make sweet oxtails here. But we are trying to get that nice caramelized color on our meat. And that's exactly what the sugar is going to do. And this does not cook 1, 2, 3, guys. These oxtails take time to cook, especially depending on how thick they are. Okay, so as you can see, starting to get brown, and then you cover it. So like every 15 minutes, every 10 to 15 minutes, check on this and stir it. No, slightly cover it because we're braising this. This is what we're doing right now. We're braising it. So braising is like it, you know, we're braising it, getting that color. We're frying it, but at the same time, it may have a little bit of liquid, but not so much. So we're going to cover this a little bit here, and after 10 minutes, I'm going to come back to it. Okay, and by that time, my loves, it's making its own juices. So it's braising nicely now, and as you can see, those juices are getting nice and dark. All right, so now there's going to be a point where you're going to have to add some more liquid to this, okay? Because we need to have these cooking a little bit of liquid because we have to tenderize these, okay? But as you can see, that rich, beautiful caramel color is on our meat, and that looks beautiful as is right now. So guys, in the bowl that I had some of my seasoning, I'm going to add some water to this. I had added up, at least, 2 cups of water that I have in here, but I'm adding it little by little. Okay, about a half a cup at a time. Okay, and we're going to scrape the bottom of that pot, and we want to collect all those beautiful flavors that have caramelized at the bottom of our pot here. Okay, we're going to cover that. Now I'm speeding up the process, adding some more water, because from time to time, every 10 to 15 minutes, check up on this, guys, because you're going to have to add some water, okay? And scrape the bottom of the pot. I didn't want to boil y'all. Cover it. So as you can see, every time I keep checking up on it, it's getting darker and darker. So we're adding more water, okay? And it's going to make its own juices. But for those of you guys that love a lot of gravy, okay, you're going to add more water, okay? So now I'm adding, this is optional. I'm adding some tomato paste. I'm not adding a lot of tomato paste. What the tomato paste is going to do is going to help thicken it. But not only that, but it's going to make the sauce richer, okay? I love a nice, rich, thick sauce with my oxtails. Okay, so now I'm going to add my tomatoes. These tomatoes, I had them in the freezer. Those came from my garden. That's a very good way to preserve tomatoes, especially if you have a lot of them. You could put them in the freezer. So I'm taking them out, and I'm going to add these tomatoes to my oxtails here. For some, I like seeing different colors and stuff like that. Adding some extra body to my sauce. So I have some cherry tomatoes here, and I think I have like one beef tomato here. Now I'm adding my sweet peppers here to this as well. All that is all my flavor. My garlic is also have some garlic here that's being introduced. And let's not forget our scotch bonnet pepper. Okay, I think I have about 4 cloves of garlic, because again, I love lots of garlic. And we're going to add some onions, and we're going to let that cook, my loves. Some more, because we got to cook this some more here. All right, and I'm going to stir this, and then we're going to cover it. Okay. And my loves, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. And don't forget to give a thumbs up. Okay, give me those likes, guys. Now we're adding some more water, of course, because I want lots of gravy with my oxtails. Okay, and don't forget to press that notification bell so you can get notified of my weekly postings. And share. Let everybody know about Jackie's cooking. Okay, please do. All right. Yeah, so, if you love lots of gravy, I mean, who doesn't like gravy? Because we're going to serve this with rice anyway. So, who doesn't like gravy? So, I would definitely, add water to this. Okay. And I'm going to cover that. And we're going to let that cook some more, guys. But believe it or not, you might have thought, oh, that's a lot of salt in the beginning. But it's really not, guys. Now we're going to add some butter beans. This is optional too, okay? But I love the aka lima beans. I added this because that also helped make the sauce thicker as well, okay? You don't have to add the butter beans, but it does make a nice addition to it. You don't have to, okay? You could also add carrots to this. Just have fun. So I'm adding now. I was tasting it and I felt like it needed some more seasoning as far as the salt is concerned. Okay, this is what I mean because and what you adjust as you go because you could take away, but you could always add in, but it's hard to take away, especially if it's too salty. So you add more salt. Some seasoning salt if needed be. Okay, so now as you can see, this is getting really thick. It has gotten really thick. And this cooks for at least about 3 hours. Okay, for about, this was like 2.87, close to 3 pounds worth of oxtails. As you can see, the meat is nice and tender, nice, thick, rich sauce, which is going to be served with some rice. So this cooked for at least a good 3 hours, minimum. Okay, especially if you want those oxtails to fall off the bone. Okay, look at that beautiful, rich sauce. Absolutely delicious. I had to taste the sauce to make sure it was, where I wanted it. So now, guys, I'm going to turn off my stove and I'm going to take some sliced onions and I'm going to add it. And that's going to add an extra layer of flavor because you're adding the onions. This is optional, but trust me, if you like onions, it does add an extra layer of flavor. We shut off the stove and I'm just going to take some onions that I sliced, just nestle it in there and cover it for like 10 to 20 minutes just to let those, that onion flavor, that layer of onion flavor to ferment into the sauce, okay? And here are our oxtails. Beautiful, delicious, nice, beautiful, rich sauce. I cannot tell you. I don't cook oxtails all the time, but when you do get a chance to cook them, it's so good. As you can see, that sauce is a nice, beautiful, dark brown with a slightest red hue to it, Well, not really, it's mostly brown, but it's so delicious and tender, nice. The meat is nice and caramelized. This is the life. This is the life, my loves. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to serve a plate here. Okay, we have some peas, red peas and rice. Okay, and I have some spinach and collard greens sauteed with some garlic and bacon. Okay, and we're also going to serve that with some potato salad that I had made. So, of course, this is Sunday dinner. Okay, and we're going to add our delicious, beautiful oxtails, guys. But I need you to try this recipe, my loves. I definitely need you to try this recipe. Tell me what you think. Leave your comments below. We're going to spoon some of that beautiful meat. This is my husband's plate, so he's like, don't skimp on the meat. All right, and this is our beautiful, beautiful plate here with the potato salad, some rice and peas, our beautiful collard greens and spinach and garlic and bacon. Okay, and guys, I need you to try this. Enjoy, and I need you to do 3 things for me, and that's eat, love, and pray. Enjoy, guys. Try this recipe. Just enjoy life, my loves. Until next time.